Welcome back. So in this video, I just want to continue with the use context and how to implement something that maybe it is the only case, one of the most common cases for using the use context, and even it's mentioned in the documentation, the official documentation. If you open it up, you will notice that implementing context with React is only for example, implementing whether the user to share a small pieces of data, for example, whether the user is logged in or not, and also for implementing something like dark theme or a light theme. These are maybe the most common cases for implementing using the use context. And even with the shopping cart, you will not implement a shopping cart unless it's an e-commerce or something like that. And not all the applications that you are going to build it will be an e-commerce, right? For example, you are going to build hospital management. For example, you are going to build building management. I cannot think about the applications that you are going to build, but they will all the applications that you are going to build, they should handle something like an authentication system, and this is a perfect place to use the use context. And maybe you are going to implement a light and a dark theme. If that's the case, then you are going to also use the context. Otherwise, you don't need to share, for example, you don't need to implement or to use the use context. Okay. So for example, if I here want to make an order, or for example my shopping cart, I can go ahead and say order now. So these type of functionalities, they don't require any use context or things like that. Okay, so don't confuse yourself and think that, oh my god, where should I use the use context or things like that. No, just stick with the tutorial and you will understand that how to do it. So again, what I'm trying to do here, if I click here, I will be logged out. Okay, and if I go to the developer, where is it, the books page right here, or the contact page, if you click on it, we can see it's telling us please log in to contact us. How did the contact page knows about the user status, whether they are logged in or not? How did this page were able to know that we are trying to we are not logged in? Okay, well, this is the power of using the use context. Let me show you that how to do that, or let me show you how to implement that. In our hook state, what I will do, let's leave it like this. I'm gonna go back to my app.js, and you can see the only thing that I'm trying to share is this thing right here. Now I'm gonna take it to the next level and utilizing the use state. So I'm just gonna say constant is logged in. Okay, is logged in, and set as logged in. Okay, like so, and this should be equal to the use state hook. Okay, and initially should be false, right? So again, we can see that we are trying to let's say just tell it whether we are logged in or not. And what I will do, I will just go ahead and say is logged in, which is initially false, to be is logged in. Okay, or we can make again is logged in, it is the is logged in, and we don't have any user. I don't want to share any user. And what also I can share the set is logged in function. Okay, I can share functions as well. Okay, not only variables or things like that. Okay, just to keep it simple, we are sharing the exact same state right here. Okay, very, very, very simple. Now what I can do, I can go to my, again, let me explain what I have did here. I just have created a piece of state to keep it tracking whether our user is logged in or not. And here I have just share it or pass it down to all the components. Okay, now if we go back right here, of course we don't have data right here. So what I will do, let's clear it a little bit. I'm gonna go down, I will say, and by the way, here we can use destructuring. Okay, so if you want, we can say is logged in and set as logged in. Okay, I have just used destructuring. Okay, because the auth content, this thing right here, it will return for us the object that we have sent. and we can use object destructuring to get these values. Okay, let me show you what I will do. I will go ahead and render something based on we are logged in or not. So is logged in, or first of all, let's go ahead and create two functions. I will say log in, it should be equal to set logged in, okay, set is logged in to be true, okay, and I will create another function called logged out, okay, or logout, and it should be false. Okay, so you can see it's very simple. And here what I will do, I will check first of all if is logged in is it true, then I will return a paragraph that's called the render logged in. Okay, otherwise we can return a paragraph that says you need to log in or something. Okay, so based on that we are rendering something, and if we take a look, you need to log in because initially the is logged in is false. Now let's go ahead and return another piece or another thing. Below that I will return a button as well, is logged in. If the user is logged in, we are going to return a button. Oh wait, we need to do that. So if the user is logged in, we can say log out. Okay, and we can give it the onClick function to point to log out, right? And by the same token, we can render a button. If the user is not logged in, we can say log in. Okay, I know maybe I have confused you with all the things that I'm trying to say, but again, I'm gonna write the code and explain everything. So first of all, we have this structure that is logged in and set logged in from the use context. Okay, and now we have created two functions just to change the piece of state, whether the user is logged in or not. Okay, we are going to change it if using this piece of function that we have shared. And here I am just using the conditional rendering based on the value that we have it here. Right here we are going to render different things. If we take a look, we can see you need to log in. If I click it, we can see logged in and this thing got changed. And by the way, this is the exact same technique that you will use like in tons and tons of different applications. Now you may be wondering what is the powerful thing that you can. I don't see anything new for me. I don't see anything powerful. Now the thing that you don't know, I can log in and log out from like literally any component that I want. Okay, so I can go ahead and cut these three lines or copy them and paste them to any component that I want, whether it's the navigation, it's the footer, it's the header, whatever. Then it will allow me to log in and log out, and that's really a big part of state management. Okay, and like I can do a lot of stuff. Okay, so just by doing these kind of things, again, this is 100% all the what you are going to do. In a lot of cases, maybe the syntax is a little bit different, but at the end of the day, you are going to go ahead and implement the same thing. And by the way, let me give you a best practice that you could do. The first thing first is to create, okay, a login component. Okay, the second thing is to create logout component. Okay, and you might be wondering why when you are gonna use these two things. Well, basically, instead of keep repeating and adding this implementation, for example, you can see this syntax is really ugly. What you can do, you can create two different components, whether it's called logged in component or logged in user and log out user. And based on that, you can render like a really nice structure instead of this ugly code. Okay, this is just like a side tip that you could do. Other than that, we have showed you how you can store a piece of state, manipulate that piece of state using use context. That was a lot of stuff that we have learned. Again, I will give you the opportunity to explain more and more about it. But again, this is like If you want, if you don't need to bother yourself and practice, you can follow along with me to the next talk. So yeah, that should be it. So thank you, my friends, so much for watching, and I will see you in another one.